Despite being a young girl, Kloran wasn't very successful in her school lessons. Her teachers constantly complained about this. However, Kloran had a completely different passion: reading books. Diving into the worlds between the pages was far more enchanting to her than reality. One day, while lost in the mysterious lines of a book once again, Kloran found herself on an unexpected journey. When she opened her eyes, she was right in the middle of the fairytale forest she had just been reading about. But this wasn't a picture, this was real. Everything around her was incredibly large. A bright red mushroom was twice her height, and the white spots on it looked like huge craters. The trunks of the trees rose to the sky like majestic columns, and their leaves resembled colorful, enormous umbrellas. Little Kloran could still feel the soft scent of the book she had just been engrossed in. How did this happen?" she whispered. Fear briefly flickered in her heart, but then the curiosity she had learned from books took over. She slowly stood up and felt a soft layer of moss beneath her feet as she took her steps. A little further on, she found a small, silver key gleaming among the roots of a giant tree. Strange symbols were engraved on it. She took the key in her palm. What lock would this key open? Just then, a stout, greenish worm with an angry expression crawled in front of her. Kloran got scared and hid behind a huge leaf. The worm noticed her with a rustling sound, but unexpectedly, instead of harming her, it examined her curiously and then acted as if it wanted to be friends. Kloran named him Turdic Nibbler, and together they embarked on an adventure. Kloran showed Turdic the key in her pocket. Turdic seemed to recognize the symbols and began to lead the way. During their journey, they encountered obstacles such as thorny bushes and a deep puddle, but they overcame them all with Turdic's help. They saw the symbols on the key in different places, and these symbols guided them like a road map. A talkative squirrel they met along the way said that the key belonged to the Forgotten Gate, and that this gate opened to other worlds. Kloran and Turdic continued their journey hopefully, overcoming difficult obstacles together, until they finally reached an old gate covered in ivy. On the gate were the same markings as on the key. Kloran inserted the key into the lock and opened the gate. Behind it was a small room emitting a dim light, and a wise-looking old man with snow-white hair was sitting there. The old man gave Kloran advice, illustrating the difficulties of life with examples, and emphasized that true success was not only measured by grades, but that courage, curiosity, and friendship were also very important. Then he directed Kloran towards the door. Kloran found herself in the schoolyard, under the familiar tree, with the same book in her hand. Next to her was Turdic, just as green and plump as he had been in the forest. Kloran smiled. This mysterious journey had taught her so much. She would now look at her life and her lessons with a different perspective, and she would always have a loyal friend by her side. Kloran took Turdic with her and happily headed home.